My journey to Thailand, faith, family, and finding purpose abroad. I didn't move to Thailand to run from life. I came here to walk in purpose. My name is Helen, but many of you know me as Bootsie UnThai'D, a proud Detroit girl who said yes when God whispered go. This isn't a vacation, it's a faith journey, a new chapter written with courage, curiosity, and grace. Leaving home wasn't easy. I love my family, my church, and my community. But there came a moment when I knew God was calling me beyond what was comfortable. Sometimes obedience feels like heartbreak at first, but peace always follows when you step out in faith. I left Detroit with tears in my eyes and trust in my heart, believing that the same God who guided me there would guide me here. My faith has always been my anchor. From serving as a chaplain and helping youth in Detroit to volunteering through my church, I've seen what love can do. But faith isn't meant to stay still, it's meant to move. And that's why I joined Kingdom Nomads, a community that brings faith into motion through acts of kindness and compassion across the world. Every cup of coffee shared, every prayer whispered, every hand held. That's where ministry truly lives. My journey to Thailand actually started generations ago. Through Ancestry.com, I discovered my great-grandmother was part of an Afro-Thai indigenous community, and she met my Irish great-grandfather while he was in Vietnam. When I discovered this, I cried. I realized this wasn't random. It was redemption. My spirit knew before I did, I was being called back to where my story began. I've even met distant relatives since being here through that search, and it's reminded me that family isn't lost, it's just waiting to be found. So I encourage you, find your story, look for your roots, even if they're on other continents. You never know what part of your destiny is waiting in your DNA. On September 30th, my stepdad, Daddy-O's 90th birthday, I boarded a plane with courage and prayer. From Detroit to Los Angeles, to Japan, and finally Bangkok, Thailand. I landed on my own birthday, a day before my son Elijah's birthday. 3 generations celebrated that day, one in heaven, one at home, and one arriving in a new land. As the wheels touched down, I whispered, "Lord, use me here." I didn't just arrive in another country, I arrived in another chapter. The first thing I noticed was the warmth, not just the heat, but the people. Bangkok has a rhythm, alive, colorful, unpredictable, yet somehow peaceful. You could hear 100 sounds at once, but still feel calm inside. I laugh when I realize 7-Eleven is the heartbeat of Thailand. You can find everything you need through those aisles. I got lost my first few days here, but the detour led me to the best pad thai I'd ever had. I knew then every wrong turn still leads somewhere beautiful. Faith in a Buddhist country. A lot of people have asked, Helen, how does it feel to be a Christian living in a Buddhist country? And my answer is simple. I feel at peace. I am not a very religious person. I'm deeply spiritual. My relationship with God is personal and alive. I've learned that God's presence isn't limited by place or religion. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And I've felt his presence in Buddhist temples, in Muslim mosques, and on quiet beaches, and in crowded markets. Because when your faith is real, you start to see God everywhere. You don't have to change who you are to honor where you are. Love always speaks the same language. Purpose in motion. Every day I ask God to show me someone I can bless. Maybe it's offering a meal, a smile, a word of encouragement. That's the heartbeat of Kingdom Nomads, showing kindness that crosses borders. My mission is to remind people that hope still travels, and kindness is the best passport you can carry. Through my channel, Bootsie UnThai'D, I want to help you see that you can travel with faith, with purpose, and with joy. Travel changes you. It opens your eyes and softens your heart. When you explore new places, you realize how big God's love really is. You don't need perfect timing or a lot of money. You just need faith to take the first step. Go find your world. Go meet people who don't look like you. Eat food you can't pronounce. And learn how love translates everywhere. You'll come home richer in spirit than when you left. I miss home, my family and friends, but I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. God has turned my fear into faith and my waiting into wonder. Every sunrise in Thailand reminds me that obedience leads to beauty you could never imagine. Thank you for walking with me on this journey, for believing, praying, and traveling beside me in spirit. If this story touches your heart, subscribe to Bootsie UnThai'D and join me as I travel through Asia with faith, family, and purpose. And remember, no matter where you are in the world, God is already there.